and ask you some questions from time to time. Maybe you can help me sometimes when ask them some questions, okay? When we are trying to do an extract, plant extract, okay? Generally, it will be the extract in two forms. There will be soluble part and insoluble part. Just how I can show you. Look, I bring plants, okay, some plants, and put it here, okay? These plants will be here, plant materials, and the solvent. For example, this is ethanol. After some times, you will see that the ethanol color get changed. The colors get changed. That means some materials from plants go to the solvent. Therefore, there will be two fractions, soluble fraction and insoluble. After some times, we will just use some sieve. The leaves will stay here, and this will be extract, okay? This extracts, generally, the soluble fraction is 20%, and this is 80%. That's not dissolved, okay? And this part is not important, but the important part for us, this one, okay? Also, we have some volatile oils, yeah. We have some volatile oils. Look, let me to show you that one of the methods at Turkey we use for extraction of oils. This is called imbik. Imbik, it's traditional way. Merhabalar. Buyurun. İyi Türkçe biliyor musun? I was so happy that someone is talking Turkish. By the way, Kazakhcha is so different than Turkish. There are a lot of, we say "i", you say "жақсы", so different. Anyway, we will continue. Okay, this is imbik. Look, this is traditional used. It's copper, from copper. We put the plant inside and we put water. After that, we use fire here, okay? And it's get boiling. After boiling, it's the vapor come from here, and this is condensation, condenser. And then we collect the oil from here, okay? This is one of the traditional ways to do volatile oils at Turkey. Of course, it's used by Ottoman time. It's traditional and old way. For hydrodistillation, I mean to get distillation, we have many times. Hydrodistillation is so easy. You will put water and the plant materials, and you will boiling and you will collect them. We have another way that it's direct steam distillation. You will put water here and the plant here, and the vapor, buhar, it will be used to collect or to isolate the volatile oils. Because sometimes, let me to explain to you. Sometimes some plants have oils inside. These leaves, or for example mentha, they have oils. To collect the oils, we use different types. For example, this type, I use this type. It's indirect distillation. I put water here, and the plant not inside water, and after some times I collect the oil is come here, and the flower or floral water from here. It's for oils. Okay. The dosage forms that we use in plants, it can be as a mixtures. That means 2 or more than 2 plants mixtures. Generally, when you go to actors or this traditional place, we say herbalist, they give you mixture. Sometimes they say, for example, like me, I have cough. Therefore, I will go to this actor. He will give me packet. Inside the packet, there are some plants. That's right. Who said that this person is saying the truth? how many plants have here, and is this plant useful or not? Is it, this plants can be bad for me or not? Who can say that? No one. Please, if when you go to actors or to herbalists, don't get mixtures. If you want to both, okay, you can buy a plant that you, leaves or stems plants, but not mixtures. Mixtures can be so bad. Can you tell me if I have a mixture? If I have a mixture, it's powder, toss, powder. Can I understand which plant is belonging this powder or not? Can you explain to them the question? It's so simple a question. I have powder. You know what's my powder? Toz. Toz. Yes. You can understand this toz, this powder, for which plant is belong or not?
By smelling.
Smell? A lot of similar smells of the plants. Yes, smell can be good answer, but for this here it's not true. We can use DNA barcoding. I mean, we can use genetic method to understand. No another way. Just genetic DNA barcoding can tell me which the plant is here. Otherwise, it's not possible. For example, at Istanbul, we do a survey. We visit these places, shops that sell these plants. And our main goal was to check, is this a plant? It's really the plant they say it. For example, he said that I give you mentha. Is this plant at Akhtar or herbal show is really mentha or not? We do this technique to check all the plants they are selling. We discovered that 70% of plants is not true plants. Yes. He say that I give you mentha or salvia, but it's not salvia or mentha. Why they are doing this? Nige? Why? There are two reasons. Maybe they also don't know, or this plant is so expensive and they're using wrong plant. Two reasons. Sometimes they are also not. Sometimes this plant it can be toxic. Therefore, don't use mixtures, please. Don't buy mixtures. You can do by yourself mixtures if you want. It's okay. We have chai. The same way as you prepare chai, you can prepare this. By the way, chai is an infusion. We call it chemically infusion chai. Infusion. It can be like infusions. Decoction. At the extraction, we have two main methods: infusion and decoction. Infusion and decoction. As a chemist, what's the difference between them? We have infusion and decoction. Fark nedir? Fark aralarındaki fark. What's the difference between them? Sometimes I am talking Turkish. It's okay. Look, infusion, generally, I will explain to you. Infusion, I bring the plant material, okay? Boil water, and put boil water here, okay? And leave it 10 minutes. Then I will filtrate it. This is infusion. Decoction, this method is generally for the leaves and gül, flowers, not for the roots or stems. Yes. For decoction, this is an infusion. For decoction, both of them kaynatma. Both of them. For decoction, I bring plant material, okay, cold water and boiling. Okay. This is for kök, gövde. This is for roots or stems, for hard parts of plants, not like flowers or leaves. Okay. This is infusion or çay. We say demleme in Turkish. And decoction. Decoction is kaynatma. Okay? And the third one, sorry. Okay. And we have maceration. What's maceration? Maceration is so easy. Yes, it's types of extraction. Okay. Maceration, you bring bottle, okay? Put the plant material and put your solvent. Solvent, for example, sometimes we use olive oil for extraction also. This is plant. I put olive oil, for example, hypericum plant we use for skin problems at Turkey, and put in dark place for 10 days, 2 weeks, 2 hafta, 3 hafta. And each day you are doing shaking for the plant. This is called maceration. After 2 weeks or 10 days, you will filtrate and get the extraction. This is maceration, sometimes used. And sometimes juice, just take the juice. Dosage form, sometimes the plants can be used as syrup. It contains glucose. It's not important for you here. Capsules, sometimes you get capsules of plants. Inside the capsules, the plant. Also, I am not advised to take capsules. Sometimes tablets, ointments, sometimes used ointments. We poultice, it's, for example, sometimes you bring plant and just smash the plant. You have, for example, problem in your joint. You put it here and just bandage it. You stay for maybe 1 day, overnight. It can be good. Poultice. How to we can apply the plants or the plant extracts? Orally, for example, by mouth. And what else?
Outside, like
yes, we can inhale them by nasal. For example, some drugs got by nasal. You know insulin taken by injection. Some scientists thought we cannot take insulin by mouth, unfortunately. Why?
Yeah, insulin is like
maybe it has bad taste.
No.
Maybe blood. Yes, if injection it to blood. And it fast.
You are chemists here. Can you tell me what's the structure of insulin?
Структура инсулина.
You get biochemistry? Biochemistry lectures. Okay. Oh my God, you must know what's insulin. Insulin. Yes, used for that. I am asking about the structure. Insulin is a polypeptide. Okay? Okay. If you get by mouth, what happened? The structure is denaturated in stomach. Denaturated. Yes. Therefore, you must take to blood. Some scientists thought that can we get by nasal? they are still working. It can be useful. They are still, because injection every day is so difficult thing. Therefore, nasals can be used. Okay. They are scientists thinking, working on this thing. This can be tropical. Some plants, as a lotions or oils or creams, it can be used tropically. It's okay. For example, this plant, Hypericum, for me, I am using every day at home tropically for skin problems. It's really good. Hypericum. We say it kantaron in Turkish. Or take banyo, or shower, sorry. Banyo in Turkish. Take shower by the plants. You put, drink the water you use for showering, you put some plants and use this water to get shower. It can be useful also for your skin. For example, like lavanda, it can be used. And sometimes it can be used subcutaneous, under the skin, or intramuscle as injections, okay? Sometimes it can be the plants. For example, Minispermaceae family, it's have alkaloids. It was used to hunting animals in South America. And after you get these animals get died, they hunt the animals. The meat, it's not it's harmless to the people. They can eat the meat, no problem. But they used some poison to kill this animal. This poison, when get by mouth, it's harmless. If injected, it can be harmful. Did you watch this movie?
Yes.
Ace Ventura, yes. Yes. Jim Carrey, they used this material to anesthetize him. Yes, that's good that you know this movie. Okay. Let's now talk. You have any questions? Of course you don't have, unfortunately. Okay. Let's talk about the industry of medicinal plants. It's a big industry, big market. Yes, I mean at the world, there are a lot of trade happen by medicinal plants. Why? Because too many people still, until today, 87% of human beings still using plants in the treatment. Plants in the treatment. Why? Because a lot of people at the earth, they don't have access to health system. For example, as you have here hospitals and pharmacies, if you go to Africa or some parts of Brasilia, for example, you cannot find these things. You must take plants. You have no choice. By the way, it's United Nations and WHO say that at 2014, saying that still more than 80% of the human beings relied on plants, unfortunately. We have some plant families. We talk about plant families, and we also will talk about them. We say that some families.
Excuse me.
Sorry? Of course. We have some families that have too much medicinal plants. Look, this is globally at the world. Some plant families have more medicinal plants than other families. Therefore, it's when you are searching for medicinal plants, you can use these families because these families have more medicinal plants. As I say to you, about 2 million of all plants at the world, not all of them medicinal. When we are searching about the medicinal plants, it can be these families. Let me show you something. This is one of the articles, write these things. Look, we started with Moraceae. We say dut at Turkish. We start with Moraceae. For example, this contains some sugars used to treat diabetes, Moraceae. I work in my PhD thesis about this family, Moraceae family, and we isolate some flavonoids used for diabetes. Look, this percentage of these plants. For example, this family, Apocynaceae, is contain this plant, It's called vinca rosa or Catharanthus roseus. It's contained vinplastine or vincristine. It's now the most strongest anti-cancer drug now in our day. It's Catharanthus roseus. And also we have warfarin. Warfarin is extracted from Fabaceae. Warfarin is used as a blood thinner. If you have any problem in glutination of blood, many people use this warfarin. It's used by too many people. Okay, we have any question until here? Okay, no? Why? You should ask. Okay, let's see talk a little bit about money. The global market of the plant or medicinal plants it's about 100 billion US dollar in our day. 100 billion. 100 milyar. Okay, 100 milyar. Tamam? At 2050, it's expected to be $7 trillion. Really? Anyone want to get too much money or investment, you can invest in medicinal plants. It's really good field of investment. Okay, you can invest in this thing. Especially at Kazakhstan, you have big lands and fertile soils. Therefore, it's good choice. Okay, we said about $7 trillion. Of course, China control about 15% of this market. Look, at 2017 and 2050, it's yearly will grow about 15% yearly, the market of medicinal plants. In which field the medicinal plant is used? It's used for dietary supplements to support the diet, our food. Herbal functional food. Functional food. What's the functional food? Functional food. Okay. Functional food is a food that have additive. You add some plant materials to this food that give you good health results. Okay, we call this is functional food. Okay, we use plant also for beauty. Most of the ladies here maybe used some herbal products for the beauty purposes and also for pharmaceutical. Look the numbers. For dietary supplement, it's 11 billion. For functional food, it's 14. For beauty, it's about 14 also. For pharmaceutical issues, it's 44 billion. That means we spend too much money for the herbal products. Therefore, no need to export these materials. We can do by ourselves. Look the global markets. Here you can see the global markets and you can see the European countries. Here they have big part of the markets, especially Germany, because the German people and Japan peoples, they use too much. But unfortunately, look here, resources and consumption in the Middle East and Africa are not included here because they don't have statistics. When I came to first at 2018 to Kazakhstan, I was trying to find statistics. Unfortunately, because I am not Russian and Kazakh, therefore I couldn't search. I asked my friends to give me some statistics. They also don't have statistics. For example, of course the government or the official part of Kazakhstan, I mean Ministry of Health maybe, they must have numbers of how many or how much plant materials we export or import. Okay, they must have these numbers because it's important.
Это очень важно. Мысалы, қанша өсімдік экспорт қанша импортта, лекция кезінде бұл тапсырма берген кезде статистика тапсырмайды. Түгелі біз таба алмадық. Қазірде тапсырма беріп жатыр статистика бойынша. Қазірде таба алмай жатырмын дейді. Сұраққа бұл жауап болады қоймай процент.
What is percentage? Which means this percentage?
I didn't get the question. What you want to ask exactly? What do you mean by percentage?
In the previous slide,
Look, this is not percentage. It's here percentages, but you know this, the numbers used by each country. I mean the markets of each country. Markets, the market size. For example, German people used $1.15 billion. For example, Japan people used about $2.6 billion. It's 17%, sorry. For example, German people use, for example, 28% of the global market. I think because your population is not too much, I think it's like 16, that's right? 16 million. Your percent is not too much, of course. 18. At 2018, it was 16. Now it's 18. It's good. At Turkey, we are 85 million. Okay, look the countries that have too much medicinal plants. Look, China, India, South Africa, Cambodia, and USA. This is the number of medicinal plants each country have. Documentation, again I am saying, statistics and documentation is so important. If I ask anyone at Kazakhstan, I mean at the universities, how many medicinal plants you have, I get no answer, unfortunately. Okay. For example, at Turkey we have about, yes, many is good answer. Okay, at Turkey we have about 3,000. 3,000. Okay? What you say? Joke? Okay. You can say in high voice, then I can understand your joke. I couldn't understand. Anyway, okay, maybe after the lecture we can say some jokes. Okay, at 2002, this is statistics that included this period. Sorry. 91 until 98. Look, the countries and the volumes of each country. Importing and exporting. Import and export, okay? For example, Hong Kong import too much. China export too much. This is by dollars. It's really good resource for the country. Therefore, we can check the numbers here. Okay? We have any question till now? Let's go to another. When the time is finished, please just tell me. Okay? Did you hear about courier? This I show you this slide about Jim Carrey, and when he get these darts, this is from Amazonian. They are using these things to get the animals, to hunt the animals at Amazon rainforest. They are using this poison to hunt animals, and this poison is get from some plants. It's get from this plant. They extract this poison from this plant. We will talk about the poisonous plant. Let me, because you are working in criminology, is some plants used for to do some criminal actions, especially the political issues? Can you ask them about this, please? Plants used to kill people for political issues. Yes, they use, because I will not say to you the person, but you can search. American says that Russia killed some opposite person by plant poisons. For example, ricin. Ricin. Did you hear about ricin? No. You can search about ricin. It's called, it's so toxic materials, can kill so fastly. One of the opposite persons killed, as they say, by KGB, as American says. I don't know if it's true or not. Look, this plant, Strychnos, used to extract this toxin that used by the people of South America. It's acetylcholine receptor or acetylcholinesterase used to kill the animals. Did you hear about synapse? Synapse in the neurons. Yes, we have synapse here. For example, if we want to have another cell here, there are synapse. Synapse is something like here. This is called synapse. What's synapse? How we can define this? This is synapse. Synapse is the contact of neurons with another neurons or with muscles or with glands. Okay? The synapse it will be here, like this. And here there are some chemical signals we call neurotransmitters. Can you say to me some neurotransmitters? Acetylcholine, for example, one of the chemicals. Okay, you don't know the neurotransmitters. Anyway, this is some of the type of the neurotransmitters. This courier is used as in blocking these neurotransmitters. You know, for example, this is a part of the neuron, and this is muscle. This is the contact between muscle and neuron. This courier is blocked here, therefore it will be paralyzed. This animal or the person that get this poison. Anyway, we talk about courier. Now I will go to talk about the taxonomy of plants, or the doing the plants or putting the plants in categories. Okay, we call this taxonomy. As you know, the plants is belonging to Plantae kingdom. As a kingdom, it's Plantae. Generally, it's green and it's multi-tissued and terrestrial and doing photosynthesis. Let's start. Okay. I can't use these things. Anyway, we will not use it, maybe. It's better. I will not use it. Okay. I was trying to, before the break, we were talking about the taxonomy. Why we should use taxonomy? Frankly, to study the creatures or the organisms that exist, it's really so important to put in groups, one group and these groups, which start from kingdom until the species. Grouping the animals or the plants, it's help you to study them. This is called taxonomy. I mean, the making groups. For example, you can see this is in biology. I think you already seen these things. The creatures or organisms at this world is classified or grouped in some groups. For example, Monera, Protista, fungi, plants and animals. On some basis, they categorize these creatures or these organisms. This is so simple. This is more complex, more and more and more complexes. Plants here. Which start from kingdom until species. Look, here we have kingdom, and under kingdom we have phylum, and class, and order, and family. When you study medicinal plants, the most important thing for us is family and under the family. This is the most simple thing to organize the plants. Look, the plant kingdom, it can be so easily divided into spore-bearing plants and seed-bearing plants. Okay? This is too simple. The spore-bearing, by the way, this is simple, this is complex. More simple, more complex. Okay? Spore-bearing, it consists of three main groups, which is algae, and mosses, and liverworts, and ferns. By the way, this is simple, more compound, or more complex. Okay? When we came to the seed-bearing plants that produce seed, not spores, it's two groups. It's conifers, like pine, and flowering plants, or the plants that have gül or flowers. Okay? This is more simple and this is more complex. We call gymnosperm and angiosperm. This is the flowering plants. This is the most developed plants at the world, the highest, the best organized, which is also divided in two groups, which is monocot and dicot. I don't know if in biology you hear monocot or dicot. It's not so important. This is how we organize the plant kingdom. Some scientists organize them upon their vascular system. I mean the transportation system. Look, some of them they are not vascular, which is this, not vascular. That's so primitive, ilkel, primitive, and more organized and have vascular system, which is contain ferns, gymnosperms, and angiosperms. Don't forget that angiosperms is the most developed plants for this world. Sometimes when you read some articles or books, they write lower plants and higher plants. Higher and lower. This is the lower plants, and this is the higher plants. Okay? Lower plants is not developed too much. This is higher plant, which is developed plant. Okay? Now this is the plant cell. Right. Plant cell. I think we get some problem here. What is the plant cell? Can you tell me, please? What do you know? Plant. Yes. Okay. This is the plant cell. Exactly. They have chloroplast. Inside chloroplast, we have chlorophyll. Okay, this is good. Let's start with another question. What's the difference between animal and plant cell? Fark. There are 3 or 4 main things. One, this is cell wall. Cell wall, not membrane, wall. Animal have membrane and plant have membrane, but not animal not have wall. This is wall. This is wall, so thick. This is which give the plant its shape. This is cell wall. Okay. Let's see where is they wrote the cell wall. Just 1 minute, sorry. Look, wall, cell wall. Cell wall generally is consists of cellulose. Cellulose. Okay. Can you know what's this? These things. This. Bu nedir? Plasmodesmata. Plasmodesmata, its channels contact two plant cells with each other. Okay. The cells there are, until at the human, there are some means that keep the cells with each other. For example, look up. This is cell and this is cell. The cells must with each other. This is the plasmodesmata. Okay? Okay. Cell wall. You say that chloroplast, yes, chloroplast contain chlorophyll and doing photosynthesis. Okay? At photosynthesis, how it's happened, let's write the equation of photosynthesis. CO2 yes. Here I will write glucose. CO2 and what? Glucose and oh my God, it's it's the third school at the primary school we learned this. Okay, sun where? Here, sun. Okay, here what? Okay, and O2, glucose and oxygen. Okay, in the cellular respiration at mitochondria, one molecule of glucose, how many ATP produce? Kancha? 36. 36. 34 mü? 36 mı? 38 mi? 9 değil. 9 değil. 38. 38. But this is genellikle 34 oluyor. Teorik olarak 38 doğru. 38 doğrudur. Ama genellikle 34'tür. Okay. This is photosynthesis. It's happened here. This is mitochondria. Mitochondria. And this is so important. Bu çok önemli. This is vacuole. Vacuole, it's an organelle. It's like a reservoir used to waste water and secondary metabolite here at the plant. The plant, when synthesize secondary metabolites, storage him here. Depot as a deposit here. Okay, this is the plant cell. Anything else? Can you tell me we have Golgi apparatus? What's the function of Golgi apparatus? Yes. I don't understand Russian or Kazakh. I wish that I know Russian or Kazakh, sorry. Huh? What she say? Golgi? No. Okay. You are chemists. You are not good in biology. Okay, no problem. Okay. Okay. When, look, the botanical nomenclature. This word, nomenclature, it's meaning the naming of plants. That to give the plants name. Why we should give the plants name? Why? Because, you know, for example, at Kazakh language, you say something for potatoes. Russian said another, Turkish said another, Arab said another, English said another. This is make confusion, the names. Therefore, scientists think that scientific name, it will be good because it's standard all the world. Yes, yes. Who's made these rules? Linnaeus. Linnaeus do this scientific, which is called binomial system. Binomial, that's mean, yes, it consists of two parts. Two parts. Look, like this, like Homo sapiens, for example. Look, this is Quercus, for example, Quercus alba. It's the scientific name. It's Latinized name from Latin. Okay, it's universal. Everywhere in the world, they are using the same name. For example, Quercus is Quercus everywhere. In America, in Kazakhstan, in Russia, everywhere. And it's used, it contains of two parts, genus and species. Look, genus, it's written in capital letter, start with capital letter, okay? And of course, it's italic. Italic. And the species is start in small letter and continue small, and also is italic. Quercus alba, for example. When you write, for example, this by hand, this is by computer or typewriting, it's okay. If you write by your hand, for example, mentha, for example, mentha specata, okay? You write capital, small, but what you do, you cannot make italic by your hand. You do like this. Two lines, look, 1 and 2. 1, 2. Not like this. 2 by your hand when you write. This is scientific name. How you write? Scientific name. Generally, it can be the names. It can conflict or reflect one of the features of the plant. For example, Conium maculatum. It's the plant used to kill secretaries. This plant, that means have like spotted. Maculatum means spotted, like spots. This is the plant. It's so toxic plant. Yes. And these names in our day, it's used or it's organized by International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. There are international community that give the plants their name. It's called ICBN, International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. This is the site. For example, if you want to get through, I think I should close this. It's get a little bit cold. Okay. Hope this will not get down. This IAPT, International Association for Plant Taxonomy, you can get the most the most updated issue of the plants. Here you can find this in this site. You cannot use other site. This is the most official site used for plant names. Like this, for example, sorry, kingdom, division, class, order, family. But the important for me is here, family and genus and species. We talk about this. Generally, this names is updated every 6 years. Sometimes some plants moved from one group, one family to another family, one genus to another genus. It can be moved. The places, why? Because the scientists sometimes discovered some new features, some new things in this plant that it's not belonging to this group, it should be to another group. It's updated every 6 years. I will show you, for example. The last thing, it was at China at 2017 and 18. It's called the Shenzhen Code, and this is published by book, which is the last names of plants, 2018 at China. Shenzhen Code. Look, This is all the conferences or meetings each 6 years, for example. Look at Shenzhen, before it was at Melbourne, then before it Vienna, and so on, like this. Every 6 years they're doing a conference or meeting and put the last updates of the plant names. We talk about this, we talk about, look, before Carl Linnaeus do this system, it was so long names and so complex names, therefore now it's so simple. Like Oryza sativa, the rice, Oryza sativa is, by the way, sometimes you see these things, it's not italic, L dot or lin dot. This is used for the person who first described the plant. That means Oryza sativa first described by Linnaeus. First described by Linnaeus. Let me ask you, what features can be used in genus and species name? When we put name for genus or species, what we can use? Sometimes mythology can be used. For example, Sinara, it's Sinara scolimus. This is a plant. This is a plant. We are using at the dishes at Turkey to eat this part, not these leaves. Inside, they are doing dolma, for example. It came from Zeus. Yes, that you know, from mythology, Zeus thought that the girl that he loved, she do bad thing, and she turned it to a plant. Sometimes from trade, for example, Ponica granatum, it's nar. This, it came from Phoenicia. Phoenicia, this on Mediterranean, the peoples that working on the trade. The plant get name from the trade, tijaret, for example. Some plants get from the, like lavandula, from everyday actions like bathing, get bath. Yes, from using at bath or at shower. Sometimes from places, for example, colchicum that is used for colchicine from Georgia, which is located on Black Sea. It's the name of region. Sometimes it's come from the external view. This plant, Glycyrrhiza glabra, for example. Glycy, that means sweet, okay? And rhiza, that means rhizome. This is sweet roots. Therefore, the plant name is Glycyrrhiza glabra. Sometimes it's from the other language. For example, the coffee we are drinking is Coffea arabica, from Arabic countries, from Yemen, for example. They say it qahwa, coffee, qahwa. Therefore, it's Coffea arabica from other language sometimes. This is the plant of coffee. Başka dillerden, evet. Yes, from other language. Yes, look, so this is some words that use as a species or genus name. For example, alba white, annual, altissima. For example, tall, America from America. This is used. This is the things that you use. For example, azuria, blue. This is some features that use as the names of plants. Bulbifera, for example, that have bulbs, so on. And chinensis, for example, China. And this is densiflora, for too much flowers, for example. Look, this is so important. This is Esculenta. That means edible. You can eat these plants, for example. Some of them folia, Giganta, so big. Look, you can see all of this. Grandis, big. Humilis, short, for example. Lanata, woolly, like wool. All these is latifolia, longifolia, that means leaves long. Leutia, yellow. These things. I am searching if there are something deals with Kazakhstan or the name of. And for example, Nana, small. Nocturnal. Yes. Paucifolia. And these things. Look, I will, from China, for example, sinensis for tea. Viscosa for sticky, spinosa for spines. Yes. Look, whenever you see vulgaris name, it's mean common in too many places. Herba, that means small plants. This is toprak, this is the plant. This part is herba, okay? Yaprak or leaves is folia. Whenever you see folia, that's mean yaprak. Çiçek or gül, flows. Meyve or fruit is fructus. Bark, kabuk, cortex. Kök, root is radix. Rhizome, it's rhizoma. If it's swan or like onion, it's called bulbous. This is so important things, these ones. You can find them everywhere. Now, for the classification of the medicinal plant, there are a lot of systems that used to classify the plants. For one of them, alphabetically, by the name. You can do alphabetic classification of the plants. The second is morphological. For example, on the used parts. Sometimes we are using stem. Sometimes we are using what? We are using roots. Sometimes we are using leaves. Sometimes we are using flowers. On the morphological classification, seeds, bulbs, this is bulb, and sometimes fruits. Look, this is some medicinal plants from Africa, for example. Look, you can see aerial parts, roots. This is sold by markets. Roots, aerial parts, seeds of the plants, tubers like potatoes, aerial parts, seeds, roots, whole plant or whole parts. This is topra, this is aerial parts. If they say whole plant, that means all these things with roots. Just please be careful. Aerial part here, above toprak. This is aerial part. And toprak üstü. We say it also in toprak üstü in Turkish. And if it's whole plant with the roots. With the roots. Yes. So this is bark. Look, this is bark. For example, this is tarçın, cinnamon. Yes. And this is toprak üstü. And this is whole plant. Morphological. Upon morphological, as I said, we can say herba, we can say folia, yaprak, flores, çiçek, or gül, fructus, fruit, and semen, that means tohum, or seeds. Radix, kök, or roots, rhizomes, tuber, that means the, how I can say, look like ball, like potatoes, and so on, like sarımsak, or what you say to garlic? Sarımsak, yes. Sarımsak, yes. Garlic. Bruno that day, for example, Rosa is belonging to Rosaceae, order Rosales, and so on, from Plantia. We start from here and going downward. Look, this is the voice that used for the, yes. Sometimes we use chemical classification about using the active constituent. As a chemist, I am asking you, what's the main groups of the chemicals that found in plants? The main groups. Yes. You are not knowing in biology and not knowing in chemistry also. What? The main groups, the main group. Başlıca gruplar for the active compounds found in plants. I will tell you, look, this is the main group. Terpenes, phenolics, nitrogen containing compounds, and sulfur containing compounds. Okay? This is the main for classification of the chemicals that exist on plants. For example, I do classification. I say the plants that contain alkaloids, the plants that contain coumarins, for example, and so on. Don't forget terpenes, phenolics, nitrogen containing and sulfur containing plants or secondary metabolites. Okay? Now you will not forget, please, this thing. Terpenes, phenolics, nitrogen containing and sulfur containing. Pharmacological classification on the activity. I mean this plant, which kind of activity that have. For example, it can be anti-cancer, anti-diabetic, antimicrobial, anti-wound, so on. Some of them make classification pharmacochemical. That means collect both chemical and pharmacological classification. And beside that, there are some classification that depend on the climate and utilization and the reproduction. Sometimes the reproduction can be used, and one of the aspects for classification of medicinal plants. Now let's talk a little bit about the condition of obtaining medicinal plants. How many times we have? I think we have not too much. And we'll finish, okay? A plant, medicinal plant, good plant. I will talk a little bit about that. For example, when we collect çiçek or gül, components, I must use some rules to get these plants, because these materials, coumarins, sabonins, can be high in some periods. For example, they say to me, collect this plant at winter, this plant at summer, this plant at autumn, for example, because every plant has a specific time with high material, high active material. Therefore, you must know which time you must select or collect these plants. Look, there are two theories explain the diversity of chemicals found in plants. Why plants produce secondary metabolites? Why plants? Look, there are two theories. One, chemicals for survival, to defend themselves, like they have weapons to hurt others, to kill others that come near them, for example. And the second, it's accidental, by randomly. Look, let's look to this. Protection against to eaten by others, by herbivores, like chemicals, and decan, to hurt the others, to not come near the plants. The other things, allelopathy, some plants produce toxic to kill other plants. For example, this plant is here, okay? They have not too much water and not too much sun, okay? They produce some materials, some compounds to kill other plants to get more sun and more water, okay? This is called allelopathy. This is accidental. As we say, the active components can be so high in specific time at the plant life cycle. Therefore, there are some specific zaman or time or wakit for collecting these plants. Okay. And to get these plant materials in the best way, you should have some times to drying these plants. Yes. Look, generally the plants is used after collection for 1 year, not more than 1 year. 1 year. Bir yıl, 1 year, okay? The plants is used for 1 year generally after collecting, not more than 1 year. After collection, or the collections generally by hand, and sometimes they are using some machines to collect plants, but generally we are using our hands to collect plants. Therefore, to get more active substances in these plants, the collection type and time, it's so important to get more bioactive materials. I am asking you here a question. The collected plant organs should not be washed with water. Why? I collect this plant, I should not wash water. Why? Not washing. Nige.
Don't wash?
Yes, don't wash. Just roots. The roots, I can wash them. Roots. Kökleri yıkayabilirim. Kökleri yıkanabilir. I can wash. But these parts, no washing. Toprak üstü yıkanmaz. Nige.
Hamurдан ғана жуалады, ал үстін жуалмайды екен.
Еркеде мел ма?
Мел не?
Өсімдіктер. Hamurdan жуалады, үстін жуалмайды.
Кім жуалмайды?
Неге өсімдікте жуалмайды?
Ученый.
А оның үстінде минералдар, микробтар, наверное, чтобы анализ не істеу үшін.
Mikroplar, tamam. You are right, yes. Sometimes after you washing, it can be some microbes can grow on this, and sometimes when you washing, there will be some change on the chemical inside the plant. Because the water is good, good atmosphere to doing the reactions, chemical reactions. Therefore, many chemical reactions will happen. Yes. And of course, when collecting plant, topladığımız zaman, you must be careful to not collect poison plant instead of the right plant. You must be careful. Which plant, this plant is toxic or not. For example, when I was a child, I go to the field. I am living at village, small village. I see some plants and I eat them. I stay at the hospital for 3 months. You must be careful. Not all the plants is safe. Sometimes it can kill you. Yes. Look, when you collect plant, there are some rules. Don't collect near jol. You must go so far from, because a lot of cars come from here and toxic materials from car. Duman and these things. It's not near the jol, okay? You must be careful that these plants, they not use some agricultural methods or some toxins to treat these plants. You must not use these plants. It must be natural and no chemicals used, okay? When you collect the plants, I come here and there are just 2 plants, okay? Just these plants. And collect all of them, I put, and it's no plants here. It will be finished. This is wrong. When you collect, if there are so few plants, don't touch them, because it can be finished. If there are too much plants, you can collect some of them. Don't collect all the plants, please. It's your country wealth. Yes. Also, don't forget about the zamanlar or wakit for collecting the plant. And some plants is collected yapraklar or leaves like eucalyptus. Some of them çiçekler, like metricale camomilla. Some of them toprak altı kısımlar. Like valeriana. Evet. Kabuklar. Like, yes, some of them like meyve, tohum, and so on. Look, hiçbir zaman, at any time, don't collect in rainy day. Because also there are water, chemical reactions, okay? Not especially at winter at Özkemen. Don't collect any plant because there are no plants. Drying. How you dry? Nasıl kurutacaksınız? Kurutma. Okay. How you collect, dry the plant? Open the oven and put it inside oven and to 250 and
On sun.
There are a lot of things that I will summarize them. Generally, don't put in oven, of course. Don't put under direct sun. Don't put. If it's kök, roots, okay. But leaves and these things don't put inside room, and it's well ventilated room, okay, inside room, and dry place. Put it there, and every day you. Every day, okay. Günde, her gün yapacaksın. Okay. Okay, we talk about this. We talk about drying. Look, meyvelerde, in the fruits, there are water about 85 to 95. Kökte 70. Gövdede, stem, they have 40 to 60 water. Yes, su miktarı. Yes, there are these things. Therefore, some of the plants, some roots can be dry at sun. But you know, because you know the sun do 2 problems. Active components can be changed because the hot of the sun, and the rank, the colors can be changed because of the sun. Look like this every day. And some of the plants like this. Collect them and dry them. Kurutma. Some of the big fabrics, they have tunnels with hot air. Some of them, but not too much hot. What about the storage? How you can storage? We will finish in 5 minutes, okay? Saklama. How you can, yes, you collect plant from the field, you dry, kuruttun. Nasıl saklayacaksın? How you keep them, the plants? Yes, I said saklama. Saklama. Okay. Yes, paket. Ama nege paket? Nasıl bir paket? Plastic, vacuum. Yes, it can be vacuum. Yes, but if you everyday using, you cannot everyday doing vacuum. It's so easy. It will be better, you know, a glass bottle, glass container, and you put the plant in envelope, paper envelope, and close, and put inside the glass and in dark. The best. This can be used the plant for 2 or 3 years if you keep like this way. Okay. Look, all these things is important. Moisture, rutubat veya nem, heat, sıcaklık, light, ışık, oxygen, trace materials, metals or microorganisms. It can be so bad things for the plants. Don't keep in plastic. Don't keep. Yes. It can be lead to condensation of water sometimes. Yes. Therefore, it's not good. I mean, some interaction between them and this these plant materials. Look, we see these things, herb drugs like thyme, leaf drugs like rosemary, root drugs like leukery or gypsophilia, fruit drugs like fennel, like cumin, like coriander, seed drugs, black cumin, poppy, flower drugs like lavender. All these drugs can be used, but you know, should be 10% the humidity, not more. Look, I think last slide. Most important information must be written on the package. I have this package, for example. It's contain plants inside. What I should write here? Yes. Look, Latin name of the plant and common name. For example, Menthes peccata, Latin name, and Kazakhcha nane, for example. Production permit. I have permit from Kazakhstan government or not? You write this license number. Okay. Production method. How I prepare this. And production place. Oskemen, for example. Date. Also, yes, everything is must. Quantity, 100 gram, for example. Content, what I have inside this package. Usage information, decoction, so on. Storage condition, dry or yes. For example, all these things must be written. For example, like this, everything must be written here. Fact sheet about the content of this drug container. For example, if you have some aromatic drugs, it should be impermeable package. Cannot the smell go out if it's aromatic. And if it's have high level of fixed oil, like seeds, it must be used so fast, not take too much time, because it will be deteriorated. Some of them, it's vacuumed, as you said,